Hi there guys, Megan around JC, and today what I want to be talking about is the significances of seeing numerous amounts of zeros. Quadruple amounts, meaning 4. We're also going to be diving into seeing 2 zeros and also the significance of just seeing 1 zero and possibly even 3 zeros. Possibly. Now, why is it that I want to make this video? Why do I want to help you guys out? Why do I want to help you guys out? Well, I want to help you guys out for the same reason that specific beings want to help you out. But first, let's just scale back, okay? Scale back. The main thing to take away from this, or to take away from seeing double digits overall, is the fact that we live in a society where people, let's just face it, they really don't care about anything, do they? They don't care about their health, they don't care about their self-development when it comes to expanding their awareness, perceiving new ideas, or even escaping out of the illusion that one thing has to be done just one way. You ever had an argument with somebody who's so adamant that their one perspective is the only one that exists? It's terrible. You don't want to be around people like that. Well, that's because these people are very limited. They have all of these belief systems, these confines, these constructs, which keep them pretty unaware of everything. The spirituality level is like 0.1%. It's pretty low. It's one of the worst things about this world so far. Spirituality just isn't being practiced. As a race, during 2017, a lot of people were just too disconnected from spirituality. They don't even know what it is. They hear the word spirituality and start to think about religion. And again, it's because of the programming that kicks in. It's like all of these subconscious triggers which block somebody from actually discovering the truth and everything. These viruses of sorts. So, we live in the world full of the walking dead. People who don't care about their health, and so they start eating a bunch of junk food. They're very unaware because, well, they're not in tune with themselves. And so they'll start buying into their cravings and their addictions. They have so many excuses as to why they want to remain the way that they are, that they're deluding themselves into thinking that they're actually healthy, mentally, psychologically, physically, and emotionally. They stuff and bury down their emotions rather than dealing with them. And because of this, we've become this race of stagnant, dense, low vibrational beings. Now, when you're like that, your awareness, like I said before, is 0.1%, if any. When it's like that, you're not aware of anything. How does anyone ever expect to achieve anything in life when it comes to the really cool abilities that you hear about when it comes to ascension, flying, teleportation, astral projection, clairvoyance, biolocation, telepathy, if I haven't already said that before, but on many different levels. Everyone hears this kind of thing and they're like, okay, I want to experience that. I want to experience a Kundalini awakening. I want my body to be completely healthy. I want to just move and walk into immortality. But they're so unaware of specific things that they can't do that. They don't know where to start. And that's when particular people step in. These particular people are known as spirit guides, angels. I guess you can call them light workers, shadow workers even, if you want to work in the shadows. This will basically be a light worker, somebody who has good intentions, but they're unseen. But let's just get one thing down, packed, and understood. The reason as to why so many people see these digits, whether it be triple ones and so forth, overall, is because there are beings like myself, and like spirit guides, and sometimes even your higher self that knows that you're in the wrong, that knows that you're in this uncomfortable, unaware state, that literally want to wake you up. So they'll start manipulating the foundation of this reality in order to make you more hyper aware of what's going on around you, but mainly to make you aware of your own thoughts in its relation to the digits that you are seeing. Okay, more on that later. But let's get into this. So, for example, a bunch of people are asleep, right? And then they start to see 0, 0, 0, 0. It was a dark morning that morning. It sucked. Sip of coffee, maybe tea. Marmalade on toast. Lovely. In the UK. And they go to work, and they're looking at their dashboard, in their car and they see 0000. It's a late shift, why not? Or maybe even their clock's broken. But during that time, they're still feeling pretty groggy, pretty tired, right? They haven't quite stepped out of that sleep realm type of mentality. They're still partially within their subconscious mind. They're probably still thinking about the stuff they had just dreamt during their sleep cycle. 0000 signifies the fact that you are still in between worlds. For example, in a lucid dream, you dream about things, there is an intent behind that lucid dream that creates the lucid dream. That intent is like your super subconscious mind. It's not aware, that's why it's called subconscious. Well, this reality also has that super subconscious aspect to it. When you see 0000, it's because both aspects of those two subconscious facets of your inner reality from what you've just woken up out of and this external reality, they're actually the same. And when you're seeing 0000, it's an interlinking between the two facets that create such realities. That being said, because that dimensional wall is being knocked down, the veil is becoming thinner between your subconscious mind and the subconscious mind of this reality, your thoughts will impact this reality quite significantly. Fairly easy, I'd say. During these moments, nothing actually happens other than you noticing the fact that this realm feels like a dream. It doesn't quite feel real at all. So you're in between worlds, like quite literally. This is the first step or the first stage when it comes to you actually developing real manifestation abilities. It's a little hint from the universe that everything is about to go your way. But I don't like using the word universe because to me, universe is pretty small. This deals with multi-dimensional layers of consciousness, the interweaving of things that have knock-on effect within each dimension, which then trigger your awareness. So let's call this the multiverse. So what's next? This is a pretty fun one, okay? Leaning back on what I said about multiple perspectives, 0000 doesn't just mean what I just said. It means many other things, one of which is the 4 trials of your ego. This is really cool. Usually when you're seeing this quadruple set of this number, what this signifies is you're coming to a certain end in your life, whereby the 4 stages of your ego, of your character throughout your entire life are coming to an end. Obviously, you have to be of a certain age to notice this, and this is why you'll see repeating numbers throughout your entire life, because each time you see them, they do actually signify a different meaning predicated upon the different stages in life that you'll be entered into and that you would finish. I like to look at it like this. I always have this image in my head. 4 zeros, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're laid down, and you got a horse, 4 horses. Each one a different color, maybe one being white, black, and red. And each one is being ridden by another character that you've been, and you're jumping through them. But like I just said, dealing with many perspectives, let's go into the 2 zeros now. Let's skip the 3 and just go into the 2 zeros. 2 zeros, what that means isn't very good. A lot of people like to focus only on the positive aspects of numerology, but honestly, negative aspects also tie into seeing these digits. 00, for example, means loneliness. It means the death of something, the death of anything coming to an end. But more specifically, the death of relationships, mainly friendships, not so much, partners, girlfriends, or boyfriends. Perhaps you're moving and you're no longer going to be seeing a friend of yours, or perhaps you had an argument, a debate, a dispute, and because of that, you no longer want to be around each other anymore. Seeing 2 zeros, it's not always good. But a positive side of seeing 2 zeros can also signify a completion number, mainly with your spouse in a relationship. So for example, if you're on a spiritual journey, right, and you've come to this completion, this full circle aspect of just seeing the 1 0, then if you're with a spouse who's also undergoing that spiritual development, and they're also coming to their end of their completion cycle, now you're going to be both seeing 2 zeros. It's because you're both completing the cycles. And obviously that's just a reminder that somebody near you, somebody who you hold so dear, is also about to complete or has already completed their spiritual ascension to some degree. At least to the point where they no longer have to keep doing those same things that are hindering the spiritual progress. But on the darker side of 00, it can also lead to spiritual depression. Very introspective depression. The kind that feels numb, not so much erratic. It's not the kind of depression that you just project to other people. It's more of a numbing sense of loneliness, but you're not really focusing on the fact that you're lonely. It's just nothing. Empty. Hollow. This signifies the fact that your subconscious mind is just as bleak as your reality. Now, we've already discussed the fact that if you see the 0 on its own, then it's a completion number. And it also signifies the fact that you know that there are certain things that are going to come your way that are also going to add to your next stage in your spirituality. But on the feminine side of things, when a female sees a 0, it means something different. The same can be said for males. Like I said, different perspectives with different digits. If a female sees a 0 all the time because of her feminine energy, it will signify the fact that she's becoming more outer perspective. She's starting to notice things outside of her in relation to how people are thinking and how their thoughts are determining their reality. Now you see, when a male sees a 0 on its own, it's because the male's becoming more inner perspective. They're starting to go inwards and notice how their thoughts are also determining their actions, which then ripples out into their reality, cause and effect. So yeah, guys, this has been my video on what it means to see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0 on its own. Okay? I'm Ryan JC, Ryan James Cropper. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll speak to you all pretty soon. Peace.